feeling love with Jesus folks. You understand what I'm saying? So he was a nice to share with just a little bit the Lord has brought him from, and you guys are really gonna enjoy him. I tell you, the amazing part, you've been doing chosen here for about 5 years, and I got to work this morning, and I sit down, drunk a cup of coffee, and I pulled up my hateful page. Okay? Once I pulled it up, and it popped up a memory from last year. He was here 1 year ago, last year, up in the chapel where I didn't have a clue. 1 year ago today, we were doing this thing. And the Holy Spirit just showed me that, man, you're going to bless some people's life with your testimony. And I know it's going to be a good thing, but the subtitle tonight is, Who Are You Listening To? He has a great testimony. Go ahead, Carl. Give him a hand.
Amen. Sorry I had to walk out. As you said, my name is Carl Jones. I'm always glad to be a part. And my glasses, you see, they broke, right? Right in this light. You know what it is. Like, Lord, you got this. So I ran out the car, and as you see, I had to put them together real quick. But I'm so thankful, like you said, to be a part of this. Like you said, I was in prison, and before I went to prison, I was married. I'm married again, but I was married the first time, and we had separated. So, make a long story short, I wanted to go investigate her church. So this is how this whole thing started. I went to investigate a church. So as I went to investigate, I started listening to the preacher that was talking. And I'm thinking she'd been telling me everything that I was doing. So I'm there just checking her out, but yet I'm hearing what he's saying. So I take it that day was my change, transformation. But I hadn't went to prison yet, so that's why I wanted to start right there. So of course, I went up to the altar, and you know, a lot of people had knew my life. I was in and out the church, paying, running, selling drugs, stealing cars, and a lot of people look at me now, they wouldn't believe that, stealing cars. I was actually telling my wife, I was like, yeah, I was looking at something today, and I was like, yeah, that was me. But I'm so thankful God cleaned all that. He was doing a lot of that before I went to prison, right? So like I said, I gave my life to Christ that day, and a lot of them, of course, didn't believe it because I know the motive I had going in there. And see, that's why I tell you, you can't never be like ready, cleaned up to come to Christ, because I went in there with the wrong motive, but I came out with the right motive. And so I always use that. I went in, checking her out, trying to see what was going on, and yet I ran to the altar. And that was my transformation right there. I had a couple of issues. I had started, messing up, and I was going to court in the midst of that. And then all of a sudden, that pastor at that church, he said, well, the Lord showed me you on the bass guitar. So I'm like, now I know I played the trombone in high school and college, and a little bass guitar, just to help out, but I didn't pursue it. So I was like, no, he ain't showing me that. So he said, well, just take it home. So I took it home, and he said, well, we can set you up for bass lessons over in Hoover somewhere. So I went to bass lessons, and when I went to bass lessons, he said, you sure you need bass lessons? Because you're playing this like you know what you're doing. I said, no, I don't know anything about bass. So yeah, he began to walk with me. He said, well, really, you don't really need bass lessons because you're doing a lot of things I was teaching. So that pretty much ended, maybe about a month. So I began to pray. I said, Lord, I still don't know what I'm doing on this bass. And so I would lay the bass in my chest. I can remember all the time I laid the bass in my chest. And going to church, sometimes I'll go on Friday night because I began to get in fellowship with the pastor. and he trusted me, gave me the keys to the church, and so I'm praying Friday night, spending the night on Friday night with my bass, and me and the Lord, just, you know, and yet I was still in that first marriage, okay? So, in the midst of all that, I started living for the Lord, trying my best to just you know, walk in this thing, but it was so hard for me during that time. And so when I was going to court, I just knew he was going to give me some kind of probation because my life changed my life, and just knowing the new walk I have, that it would erase some of the past of my life. And I heard the judge say, take him into custody. And I remember hearing 10, 15, that's 40 years. And he said, I'll run them concurrent, so I didn't know what he was talking about. So he ran all of them together, and I got a 15, and I ended up doing 4.5 of that, 4.5 years. They sent me to Kilby, and I transferred from Kilby on to Fountain. It's down at 1 out now. Well, anyway, through all that, I remember this dream when I was in the county waiting to be transferred to Kilby that I'll be playing the bass guitar. And I couldn't understand. I'm like, Lord, I'm living for you now. I'm doing a Bible study. I think the last time I was here, I was telling them how I did a Bible study in the county jail. So I began to question, why would I see a bass guitar? And I'm like, I'm not going to prison or church here. I'm getting out of here because I'm saved now. I'm living for you. But yet he had a job for me to do, and I didn't know about it, right? So I get on and, well, they start telling me in my cell, we were like 4 in the cell. It's supposed to have been 2 in the cell, 4 in the cell. So the guy in the cell, he said, look, I'm telling you, your case is a railroad case. You're going to prison, man. I'm telling you. He was getting me prepared, but I was like, no, I'm going home. And thank God I listened to a lot of things he told me when I get there what to do. And believe it or not, that dream I had, they woke me up one morning, sent me to Montgomery. I get off the bus, scared to death, never been to prison in my life. But yet, I'm thinking about Joseph, you know, because all those times before I went to prison, I watched the story of Joseph, how he went to prison. And so I had a lot of, you know, things to take with me that I didn't know at that time, because that's why he was getting me ready, praying on Friday nights, spending nights to Saturday morning. He was getting me ready for this, right? So I get in prison, and guess what? One night I go out to the chapel, a bass guitar nobody had played in about 5 years. So 5 years, and so I'm just looking at this bass in there. I'm in the audience, and they playing, but they struggling. So some say, go up and get on. I'm like, no way. I'm scared. I go get on the bass. And guess what? Started playing, and everybody just looked like, this guy just picked up all of a sudden. And we played from 6 o'clock that evening all the way to about 11 o'clock that night. And the officers, everybody was just amazed because I'd never played with these guys before. It was that dream being fulfilled, y'all. And I'm like, so I say that maybe a month, they sent me out on this chain gang. I'm scared to death. Y'all just don't know, I was so scared. But he keeping me. He getting me ready for this right here. And so I went through that, process. They got me out in population, and I didn't stay there long, and so I got shipped on down to Fountain. So I'm scared again. I'm like, where am I going now? So I'm being shipped. I'm telling you, in those 4.5 years, I was shipped maybe 8 times from Mobile to Union Spring, Alabama. And it's like, Lord, where am I going next? I went to Kilby twice to be processed to another prison. So he's building ministry in me, and I didn't see it then. He's building ministry in me. And I'm like, so I get to the last place, which was Bullock Workers. And, I played the bass, of course, in some of the prison I went to, I played the bass. And it's just amazing. He established me playing bass in prison. Then I get to the work release. How about bass? Bass guitar. So I'm like, what am I doing now? So I'm sitting here like, okay, I'm trying to fight my case, trying to get out, and all these things going on. I'm like, Lord, how can I process all this except you show me. So the guy that was running the little chapel, we had something like this, similar to this. He come to me, his name was Jimmy, he was from Tuscaloosa. He said, Carl, I didn't want to tell you, but God gave you in my spirit to leave you instructions with the Bible because you were doing praise and worship. Because I didn't have a bass, so I did the praise and worship for the meeting we have on Sunday from 6 to 7, you know. So he said, well, now you got to do praise and worship and you got to bring forth the word. How about I never studied like that, right? So I'm like, I'm doing Joma now. I'm like, no, I can't do that. I love worship, but I don't know how to preach. So I'm like, Lord, I'm scared to death. I'm scared. Help me. And every Sunday I get there and I'll be shivering. Every Sunday, I don't care. Even now, you know, it butterflies, right? But as I begin to do what I'm doing now, it gets easier and easier. Then I noticed the officers started hanging around. I noticed the warden started hanging around. She was hanging around on a Sunday, which she normally not there, you know. So I'm like, Lord, this is interesting, but I'm still scared, you know. And I always tried to run from that position. Every time somebody come in and have some kind of pastor, you know, some kind of pastor experience, I always try to slide them in there. I want to do praise and worship. How about I had to stay longer? They would get out. Every time I let them preach, they get out. I stayed. So I'm like, I'm doing everything you told me to do. You're not doing what I told you to do. I told you to lead. But I wanted to follow all the time, right? So now, that's why I said, now it's like, I'm like Joan running. When he let me out, I'm like, I don't want to go fast, but yet I don't want to go slow either. I just want you to slowly develop me like a turtle. Just take your time. And I asked him when I was getting out to do that, you know. In those 4.5 years, he just transpired everything. With the bass guitar, learning how to play the bass and teaching me, and, you know, like he was asking me tonight, I didn't really have bass lessons. He taught me. The Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost taught me how to play. So, you know, and so it's been just from, that was in 2001 when I got out. You know? So I ain't looked that way since. I've been able to go back and minister, you know, and be a testimony. But dream after dream was coming. I could see at the work release, I had a dream one night that they would set up a chapel. And I'm like, we have a room like this. Where's the chapel going to be? It was like, I seen me coming back to this church at that work release. And true enough, the next month, I get out, somebody donated a trailer and set it up like a chapel. So these dreams was coming true. So I was able to go back the next month, and the warden normally don't let an inmate come back the next month. You know, it normally take a while for them to process you back in. She let me come back the next month and begin to have every third Sunday ministering to you know, all the people that were there when I was there, and some of course the new people coming in. But yeah, I just wanted to just give that testimony on how he established me. And you know, sometimes I be quiet. I still play the bass guitar in church, and I begin to testify, and everybody like, where did all that come from? You know, because I'm not like preaching the gospel in the pulpit and that. I'm always playing the bass, but I always want to have a testimony ready. And so I use these opportunities to continue to establish me, you know, and encourage one another, you know, and that's what this is about. I just wanted to encourage, no matter what, because I'm still not where I wanted to be with them, you know, and I thank God for where I came from, how scared I was to stand in front of people and talk, to now. It's so good to know that I can be a help to somebody to know that this is not the end of the road. Just let them keep writing your book right in front of you. Yes. And it don't seem like it. It's like I was telling my wife today, I was telling her, I said, you know, it was like, how did my mind hold on to, I want to help my family, but I can't because I'm confined in these walls. I can't really do nothing for them. And then I listen to things you dictated what to do and what not to do, and then you worried about somebody killing you, or you worried about, you know, just prison life, you know. He brought me through all that. And I'm so happy. A lot of people don't understand why I have so much joy in my heart. Because he kept me in those walls to come out to be an inspiration. And I try not to get so emotional, but I told my wife today, because every time I talk, it comes out just like this.
Yeah.
It comes out just like this. I can't hold it. It just comes out. And so I'm so thankful to be a part of encouraging you. And I just wanted to say, no matter where you are, no matter what you're going through, if your family turns their back on you, if you want to help and you can't, or it seems like you don't know your way, just keep trusting.
Yes.
I can remember putting that sheet over my head, said, Lord, it's just me and you. I love you. I don't care about what happened to me in life and what I've done. Right now, the greatest part of this, even on birthdays, I said the greatest part of my birthday right now is knowing you. Like he said, just knowing Christ. Just having him one-on-one. Nobody can take it away. Just get more of them. Just keep getting it, y'all, because it's gonna pan out. You'll start seeing why it was worth what you're going through. Because see, I would have never known from going to the county jail to Montgomery to all these places that he would have me standing right here in front of you. It was prophesied a lot of times I'll be going to and fro. But you know, you hear that, but just to see you actually doing it, I'm so thankful that he chose me and didn't let me die. Some of my friends around me, they were cut off. I lost a friend last week, and I'm gonna cut it right here. I lost a friend last week. I saw him about 3 weeks ago at a church, and I was playing. We nodded heads at each other, and you know, sometimes you're in your spirit, you be like, I want to talk to him afterwards. Well, how about I didn't get that opportunity? 4 days later, his body was found in Georgia. And see, I live in Anniston. So we were there that Sunday night, so that Thursday they found him dead. Somebody had shot him. And when I got the whole story of it, he was a youth pastor, you all. And I don't know if you heard it up here, but yeah, he was a youth pastor, and he had got caught up, and he was with someone, and they were trying to hold up Waffle House. And it's like, all my things I was thinking about, that could have been me. So I immediately prayed for his family. I began to embrace them. Because we are no judge. We can't judge nobody. Because we don't know what he was going through. But I do believe he had opportunity to repent from the Waffle House till they found him. He had opportunity to repent. You know, and like I said, I just thank God that he's kept me in the midst of these things. And I know our time, that dash is right now being written for us. When our hearts stop, whatever we've done in that dash, God is going to look at it. So that's why I encourage you, stay finding out more and more about Christ. Find out how you can encourage one another. Like she was just going through, I was standing there pleading the blood of Jesus over her, and she's still right here, and I'm thankful for that. And like I said, just keep encouraging, keep bonding together with each other, because it's going to pay off. Because one day, you'll see it. You know, I didn't see it then, but I see it now. I see it. Because I can give this, all that I went through, I can give it back. And that's all I try to do every time I speak. I want to give it back. I want to be a happy hand with everybody. You know, like I said, just keep going, y'all. Keep going. Because see, he's coming back. Jesus is coming back. And this is what he wants. He wants us to be prepared. He wants us to be encouraging each other, getting ready. Because one day he's going to crack those skies. He's going to crack them. And all the people that live for him will be with him. They will reign with him. We will be sitting around just like this in front of Christ. And so that's what we want to do. Amen. And so, like I said, I cut it off right there. And I brought the bass, you know, and he took me down so many roads when I was there. I went from bluegrass gospel, I went Kirk Franklin gospel, and so it's like, so I've been playing like he was asking me. I said, Well, I go down a lot of avenues now. A lot of people can't understand that even though I have this testimony in me, I help people in all areas. And I can play bluegrass, I can play the gospel, you know, just regular gospel, southern gospel, whatever it is, you know, and even in R&B, I play R&B. But a lot of people get that twisted. It can be a job for you, not to get caught up in a job. And you still being a testimony because you don't have to indulge in what you're doing, but yet you can do it as a job, and then before you know it, you've inspired somebody just by being in the midst. Because if you think about what Jesus did, he went in among sinners. So, okay, we can go to church, but what are we doing outside of this? Just like he's doing now. He's right here with you all. I'm right here with you all. That's what this is about. And a lot of people will be judgmental on that. Now, don't get me wrong. But I know in my heart what my mission is. And if I'm working over here, I'm still fulfilling that mission. And so I just wanted to give samples to whatever you have me to do. And I just wanted to do that. And please, like I said, please give them a glass. They just Amen.
Everywhere we go, he always tries.
Yeah. Y'all forgive me. I know my wife, she's probably watching, she's probably laughing because
I still remember that first time I asked him to he walked in and you were at the meeting that day. My friend Jenny was like, he was a big dude over there. He was bigger, much bigger. I was like, I don't know what big he is because we were working in Israel. I was like, I didn't know anything about him. We hadn't been to my movie. Too much been in 3 or 4 years. I heard about this before, but big he is, he got to be going with me. So I went to our boss and man, we connected that first day. I think it was me, you, Beat and Joe, and man, big company. And honestly, out of all those people, this is gonna look at that. Out of all those people, I only have contact with him, another one of our friends. Actually, we were on Christian. We still do. But hey, just give us a little bit of stuff he's doing in the truck. Give us a little bit of that.
So on the truck, we were.
You know that Billy Jean. What about that Billy Jean?
The Billy Jean. Some of you, I did this today. I wanted to try to figure out to do something in the same, kind of around the same area. So I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna see if you. I just wanted